the torque converter holes are lined up with the holes on the flex plate, so we're good. Now we gotta install the torque converter bolt. Now I'm gonna get these torque converter bolts just started by hand. I'm not gonna torque them down yet. I have to get all 6 of them started before we start torquing them down. Very nice. All right, Mr. Carl, you can go ahead and spin the engine. Let's go clockwise. Let's get the next 2. Go. Yeah, keep going. Come just slowly. Keep coming. Just right there, stay there. All right, let's spin the engine. Last 2 ones. Yeah, right there. Perfect.
Unrelated, but I think we have an oil leak.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna have to look at that. All right, so we got all our 6 torque converter bolts started and snug. So now we're gonna torque them. The torque spec for the torque converter bolt is 37 foot-pound. So just like that. I hope you can hear the torque wrench click. So this is torqued to 37 foot-pound.
Yeah, you can't see the hole.
The whole, yeah, that's fine. I mean, we already saw that.
Yeah.
So we know what bolt we are torquing. So everybody already saw that. So now I'm going to torque the second bolt. All right, so that's torqued to 37. So now you're going to spin the engine, Kyle. So the first 2 bolts are torqued. So now let's torque the next 2. Okay, right there. Stay there. All right, so we got all our 6 torque converter bolts torqued. So we're good to go. So now we're gonna install the plastic cover that covers this hole. The torque converter bolts are tightened. So now we're gonna install this rubber that covers this hole over here. All right, so we got this covered, so we're good to go. Can we go this way? Yeah. No, we can do it. So this, I mean, it's easier to put this on with the when the cross member is out.
Yeah. Do you have a box wrench
Box wrench?
for that?
Yeah, I
Or
think
do you
so.
want one, or do you just want one?
I think I'm good.
Okay. Cool.
All right, so we're good. Are we good over here?
You got it there?
So everything is put back together. As you can see, the shifter cable is installed. The cross member is installed. Okay. All the electrical connectors on the transmission have been reconnected. The torque converter bolts are torqued. So everything is good to go. Now the next step is going to be installing the drive shaft. But before we install the drive shaft, I'm going to show you what we have to do first before we install the drive shaft. As you can see, it's wet around this area. Before we install our drive shaft, we're going to replace the seal behind it. Okay, so we're going to remove this yoke over here so we can remove the seal behind it. All right, so we're gonna push this indented section out. I'm gonna undo this nut. So now we're gonna use this puller to pull this out. So the way this puller works is it's gonna go in here, and then we're gonna, so in like this, then we're gonna twist it to lock it, okay? And as we tighten the center bolt, it's going to pry this yoke out, okay? Okay, so now we're gonna install these bolts over here. All right, so that's good enough. I can see this bolt sticking back here. So now we're gonna tighten this bolt, and as we tighten this bolt, it's going to pull our yoke out. All right, so now we're gonna start tightening this. Oh, it came out pretty easily. It's already out. So we're gonna remove our puller. We're gonna get it out of the way. So now this should be able to come out. Actually, before I remove it completely, I'm going to mark it, okay? Let's mark it so we can put it back the same exact way it's gonna come out. I don't know if this is gonna make a difference, but better safe than sorry. Okay, just marked this. I hope you can see my mark right here. Okay, so now I'm gonna remove this. So we're gonna get it out. I'm gonna inspect it. This journal over here looks good. So now we're gonna remove this seal. You see this oil over here? So this thing was leaking. So we're gonna clean around the seal first before we remove it. Now we have to be careful not to drop any debris in the differential. We don't want all this dirt to go in the differential, okay? All right, so here is our seal. We're gonna carefully remove that. So here comes our pinion seal. Okay, so this is the bad one. We're gonna get it out of the way. I'm gonna put a little bit of differential fluid over here on this journal so that when we install this, okay, so that this journal can slide smoothly into the new seal. Okay, so now we're gonna install our new seal. Here is the new seal. We got this from Mercedes, and here is the part number. I hope you can see that. So here's our brand new seal. So we're gonna install it just like that. So I'm gonna use this big socket to tap our new seal in. So we have to make sure that when we tap the seal, the force we're applying on the seal is spread out across the seal evenly. Perfect. So just like that, our new seal is installed. So we did put our mark over here. So we have to make sure that our mark over here is lined up. Okay, so right there. All right, so just like that. Now, it's recommended to replace this nut. I do have a new nut that we're gonna have to install. So here is the old nut, and this is the new one. So I'm gonna get the new one out of the bag. So here is our new nut. We're gonna install our new nut. I'm gonna grab a torque wrench so we can torque this nut. So we're gonna use this tool over here to hold our pinion flange stationary while we torque this nut. Now I have my torque wrench set up to 74 foot-pound. So just like that. All right, so that's torqued down to 74 foot-pound, so we're good. So now I'm gonna remove these two bolts over here. Thank you, Kyle. So now we're gonna bend the collar over here on the nut. All right, so we bent this, so this is good to go. We replaced the pinion seal, the nut is torqued down, so now we're gonna install our drive shaft. So I'm gonna grab the bolt for the support bearing. Okay, that's fine. Now you can put the bolts up there on.
Is it the big ones or the small ones?
The small ones.
Okay.
So just get them snug because we're gonna torque them afterwards. Just snug them up and we're gonna install the rest of the drive shaft and then we'll torque them down. Perfect. Okay, so are you good back there?
Good back here.
Okay. So get all your bolts snug and then we're gonna torque them. Okay, now your support bearings, you're gonna get those snug too, but when we get these snug, you see how these holes are elongated? Let's make sure that this elongated hole is kind of centered like that. Okay, don't tighten them like this, but make sure they're centered. Yeah, just get those snug. Then we're gonna torque them and we should be good to go. Okay, what about the other one?
I already did that.
You already did that one? Okay, good. So now we're gonna torque the bolt for the drive shaft. So we're gonna start back here at this U-joint over here. The torque spec for these bolts is 55 foot-pound. So Kyle is gonna torque these bolts. That's good. Go.
Try to get it done from there.
Last one. Go. All right, so that's good. So now let's show one support bearing over here, and then we're gonna do the rest of them off camera.
Okay.
So the torque spec for the support bearing bolt is 70 foot-pound, and these holes over here on this support bearing are elongated, so we made sure that they are centered over here with the bolt. So now Kyle is going to torque these two bolts. We're going to torque them up to 70 foot-pound. That's good. Awesome, that's good. So we're gonna then torque this one over here. You can go ahead and do that. It's good. That's good. So they're both torqued. Now the next step is going to be torquing these 4 bolts over here. Okay, we're going to torque these 4 bolts off camera, and then there's a shield over here at this corner of the reservoir that we're going to install. We're going to install this off camera. It's pretty straightforward, and after that we're going to lower the vehicle so we can start the engine. We are done underneath the vehicle. The drive shaft is installed. We torqued all these bolts. We torqued these bolts over here. And then we also torqued the bolt of the support bearing. We torqued these bolts over here off camera. We did install this heat shield around the fuel tank over here. And the torque spec for this bolt was 55 foot-pound. And then the spec for the support bearing was 70 foot-pound. And then we torqued this bolt over here. As you can see, the transmission is installed. Everything looks good. Okay, so we're good down here. All right. So now we're gonna lower the vehicle. Now we're gonna put fluid in the transmission. We're gonna find our transmission dipstick. So this cap over here is the cap that covers the transmission dipstick. I'm gonna remove this cap and we're gonna put our funnel in this hole over here so that we can put fluid in the transmission. Okay, so we got that on, and then Carl is gonna go ahead and pour our transmission fluid in there. Hold on, it's spilling. Do we have a smaller funnel? Yeah, we need a smaller funnel for this. Let me see. Let's see that light. Let me see the light over here. Yeah, this is gonna work better.
Ready?
Yeah. Okay, go slowly. All right, perfect. So we got our 1 quart in the transmission. So now we're gonna start the engine. We're gonna let it idle for a couple minutes, and then we're gonna connect the scan tool to the vehicle to see if we can initialize our new transmission. So now let's go in the vehicle and start the engine. Any lights on the dash? No lights? Okay. Nice. Okay. You know what? Let's lift up the vehicle a little bit. Let's get the wheels off the ground, and then we're gonna go through the gears. So we're gonna get the wheels off the ground. Okay. All right, that's good. Now go through the gears. Go reverse first. Okay. Just give it gas just slightly, just a little bit. Nice. Okay, we got reverse. Good. Neutral. Drive. A little bit of gas. Nice. Okay. Nice. Go back to reverse. Good. Okay, park. All right. So let me grab the scan tool. You can turn off the engine. I'm gonna grab the scan tool so we can scan it and see if we have some type of initializations we have to do with the scan tool. Okay. Now you're gonna click on diagnostics. Oh, right there, it's already recognized it. You're gonna click the little icon there, okay? Standalone diagnostic, check that, and then, okay. Okay, so we're gonna go to control unit adaptation. Control unit, transmission control unit. Okay, let's continue. Shift lever B, drive. Okay, put it in drive. Okay. So exit out there, yeah. Let's go to initial setup. Turn ignition off.
Yeah.
Click OK. Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Press the control module with the new one. Turn ignition on.
All the way?
Just key on. Okay. Click OK. Transmit to new module. Yes. Click yes. Complete. Right here. Read the coding and then transmit to the new control module. Complete. Okay. Exit out. So we should be good. All right, so let's get our scan tool out of the way. Let's start the engine, lower the van, and let's take it for a test drive. We're gonna test drive it and we're gonna pay attention on how it shifts. It should be fine. If it's, yeah, exit, yes. If it shifts funny, it shouldn't. I mean, everything should be good from this point on. Okay, so now we're gonna take this on a test drive. So the van is ready, the van is fixed, the transmission has been installed. So now we're gonna close the hood and take this for a test drive. We let the van idle for over 25 minutes. And as you can see, we don't have any leaks down there. Okay, no fluids leaking under the van. So now we're gonna go on a test drive. Kyle is gonna be driving and I'll be sitting on the passenger seat. Perfect, let's go. No lights on the dash, right?
Mm-hmm. Nope.
Good. The transmission shifts really well. How does it shift, Carl?
Very well.
Very well.
On point.
Nice. That's what I want to hear. So let's give it some speed and see. No more vibrations, because before, even when you were slowing down and turning, it would vibrate. Like you could feel the whole drive line vibrate, but right now it's really smooth. Yeah, I can feel a huge difference. So we're doing about 60 right now. I don't know if you guys can see, but yeah, so we're doing like 55, 60, so that's good. Okay, we got some speed. Okay, we don't have an issue anymore on the transmission side, so this is fixed, guys. I feel comfortable giving this back to the driver. This is fixed. We can go back to the shop and wrap up this video. We can deliver this van. This is fixed. Right, Kyle?
Yes, sir.
What do you think? Is this fixed?
It's fixed.
Nice.
No vibrations, shifting on point.
Nice. No more vibrations. It shifts well. So we're good to go. We're gonna drive around and drive back to the shop. Once we get to the shop, I will bring you guys back up so we can wrap up this video. We are back at the shop. We scanned the engine computer again. I mean, all the control units on the vehicle. As you can see, we don't have any codes on these control units. Can you scroll down? Yeah, so they're all passed, no codes, so that's good. So go ahead and start the engine. So as you can see, we don't have a light on the dash, no check engine light, so we're good to go. This is fixed. So turn off the engine. So now we're gonna wrap up this video. All right, guys, so we're gonna leave this right over here. We are back at the shop. The vehicle drives well. We replaced the transmission. Kyle replaced the transmission. I was more of a cameraman.
Yeah.
You did a great job, buddy.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was awesome. So you replaced the transmission on the E350
And Mercedes now.
and now a Mercedes Sprinter. That's awesome. How do you feel?
Accomplished.
You feel accomplished? Yeah. So I think I'm gonna get kicked out now when it comes to transmissions. I got my transmission guy. You know, he's gonna be doing the transmissions from now on.
Yes,
Sounds
sir.
good?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Well, we're gonna leave this video right over here. This is how you remove and replace a transmission on a Mercedes or Dodge Sprinter van with a 3.0 liter. I hope you liked the video. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like the video, give it a thumb down. But if you do, you gotta tell me why, so we can make better videos in the future. If you have any comments, questions, criticism, leave them in the comment box. If you have a question for Kyle, leave them in the comment box. Kyle, any last words? Anything you want to say?
Thanks for watching.
Awesome. Thanks for watching. See you next time.